mean, come on. You're here at Comic-Con, and you're in this show so many fans are excited for. And then we have the OG of OGs, Patrick.
I'm sorry, but I think there must have been some misunderstanding. We're the new cast of Game of Thrones.
The Game of Thrones spin-off. Game of Thrones in space.
Game of Thrones.
Game of Thrones. How does explain what makes Picard get back in the mix after he's retired?
Because retirement is not what he was looking for, not what he wanted. It was an impulsive act that put him in this situation, and he has regretted it and lived with a certain amount of guilt about it for many years, and that's where we pick up the show.
And from there we go. And you do have a couple of friends with you who return, which is cool. But first of all, is Data disassembled? Is that what we see?
Well, I don't think that's what you see exactly.
We see that in a trailer. We see something in a drawer.
You're fooling yourself.
Okay. We see something like that.
I guess. You sure you see? I think you're the only one who saw that. Are you okay?
I don't know.
I don't think he's even in it.
So,
yeah,
you're back.
Yeah,
but you're.
I am. But you'll have to. I can't tell you anything.
It's really one of the things.
It's not. It's a need to know. You don't need to know right now. Not right now.
You're not here, are you?
No.
It's a guarded secret.
Yeah.
What has the reception been like here at Comic-Con? Have you had a chance to walk the floor? And how excited are folks?
Walk the floor. No.
You don't want to go? You don't want to walk across there? Come on.
I think the mob that would ensue is a little too much for anybody to handle.
Frame him and protect him at this point.
That's what it's about. No, but how cool is it?
Yeah, it's been amazing. I mean, when we showed the trailer, the room filled with so much love, so much support, so much excitement and anticipation, and it just made at least for me, feel like all the work we've done is really it's going to be so well received. I'm excited.
You could see the room. We didn't walk the floor. We could see the room,
yes.
And it was big.
Beautiful.
Yeah,
and it reminds you how important all of this is. Like what a beautiful responsibility we have to bring this back. Something that's been so long awaited. The fact that we get to do that and see their reaction in front of us is just so special.
Yeah. And with our fans, you guys, they're just starting to get on our ship, right? They will follow you to every job and everything you ever do, and you will have loyal fans for the rest of your life, in my opinion.
What you have to understand is the power of this show. I will never forget in the second season of TNG when Whoopi Goldberg joined us, and she just won an Academy Award. And I said, "Why would you want to do a syndicated science fiction show when you're an Academy Award winner?" And she told me this little story about her childhood and how she watched the original series, the very first one, and she would see the character of Uhuru there. And she said, I told myself, well, one of us made it.
That's right.
Wow. And I found that so potent, that remark of Whoopi's. And it, in a multitude of different ways, that's what Star Trek, in all of its different life forms, has meant to millions of people.
Yes.
Oh, it's been a game changer as far as a program that really is inclusive. And you turn on the TV and you're like, wow, these are the real stories told in a fictional way that help change the world.
Right. Yes.
Here's what I want to know. Could there be a Discovery crossover? Could we see a Picard Discovery crossover, a little mix?
I don't think it's the same.
I think they're hundreds of years.
So, it's a different time.
You know y'all can jump time zones. I mean, I don't know why everybody's acting like it's a shot.
This is serious. It's a different time. There's just no way. Yeah, I think it's true. Good.
Okay. And also, what will we see from your as they're described, your ragtag crew?
Okay.
Listen, I didn't write the description. I didn't write it. I'm just saying.
We pulled together pretty good.
Tell me about this ragtag new crew.
What are you shrugging?
Why is he making that noise?
I mean, they're pretty cool.
It was bodily sympathy. That's
there you go. I like bodily sympathy. You're going to see. First of all, I'd like to just. This is so true what you said about Whoopi, and it's so wonderful that we're continuing on being inclusive and diverse, and look at this. It was impactful for me as well when I was young, and seeing myself represented, and there was not that many of us there on TV. And so I love that. This franchise, this iconic world is really grabs that and wants to make sure that is clear, and that's we're all here. My character is a little broken, a little got some issues. She is part of, in an unrelated way, Picard's past. So that's what I can say about that, and then I'll just pass it off to one of my other crew members.
It's just about the crew. On Monday, we're shooting a scene in which Riker, who is in the series, I don't think I'm giving anything to everybody.
We said it.
He says to me, so your new crew, what are they like? And I do actually describe them as motley.
Motley.
Yeah.
So I was even nicer with Ragtag. Ragtag.
Yeah, Ragtag is a cute motley. Now motley is just.
What just happened?
We've got fleas.
You talk about the legacy of Star Trek, but for the new folks, what did it mean to book something like this when you're like, whoa, Star Trek?
I mean,
because people never. This is something that goes on forever.
I think regardless of that, it's a really exciting story, and so all of that is extra on top. If what's brilliant about acting is that you get to be different people and experience different histories, you get to time travel. This is the first time I've gone into the future to time travel as an actor, and it's great. It feels like
how is the future?
It's pretty good, man. It looks amazing, and you come out of work and you wrap and you go drive back in LA and you're like, I'm back in the contemporary world and I've been spending my day in the future. So it's really fascinating, amazing kind of stories and characters and elements that they're looking at in there. And then there is just this other side of it, which is, got this sort of fan base, and it's such a world that people have invested in for such a long time. And so it's a privilege to be a part of that.
Patrick, personally, what made you come back to this character, personally?
The intentions of our creative team, the writers and and my co-executive producers. When I met with them, it was to tell them why I was going to turn the show down, because they had been so courteous and polite, and I wanted to make it clear that it was nothing that I held against the show, but there were a feeling that it was in my past, it was over, and I just wanted to keep moving on. And then I saw what they were intending and planning, and I saw that if I did the show, I would still be moving on, and that was too appealing for me to turn it down.
So it really is a different chapter. It really is.
Oh, yes. No question.
Yeah.
And a very new Star Trek, too. Just a very different Star Trek.
Yeah, what were you going to say?
No, that it is. It's a completely sort of a new beginning in many ways, but it has that thing where it goes deep, and everyone, you really get to meet everyone, and it delves into each character, and it's just incredible that we're so far in as well. We've shot 7 by now. We only have 3 to go, and it's been just an incredible journey.
Okay, I know you guys all have these secrets, but I mean, can you tell us one cool new thing that we're, every time Star Trek comes on, new Star Trek comes on, there's something cool and new, like some gadget, uniforms, every. Well, don't look at me like I'm crazy. Right. Everybody just went blank.
Well, it's because we're going in our minds. Can we say something?
I know, exactly.
What can you say?
A little filter, mental
What
filter.
can you say?
I'd say there's probably a lot more handheld camera work than has ever been on
Yeah,
Star Trek.
that's
Like
true.
we get
Really
it's
interesting
shot in
Thank
a
you
very
for saving that question. Thank you.
There's also a lot of women crew members on our crew.
Yes.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
And so far we've had 4 directors, and 2 of them are women.
That's right.
Yes.
That's right.
Yeah.
Wow. Wow.
And our first one, a woman of color.
And you look around our crew, and
it's true.
Yes, our crew.
Yeah, diversity
diverse.
is starting to extend to other
In front
realms.
and behind.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we will see you back here next year at Comic-Con, I'm sure.
hopefully.
Don't cross your fingers like that. You got a good 10 seasons in your Don't mess around. He signed on, y'all. You got 10 seasons. You're good. You're good. Thank you guys so much for being here. Thank you.